Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live stream of England versus Australia, the first day of the Ashes. The first session has already been done. I thank you to everybody who joined me on that live stream. I'm going to do another live stream now for the second session. The current score is 105 for four. So in that first session, Australia managed to get four England wickets. Mitch Stark, the chief destroyer, 3 wickets for him in his first spell. And then the fourth wicket taken by Cam Green, who's only bowled the one over so far. So England, who won the toss, elected to bat first, are 4 wickets down already. 105 they scored in that first session. 23 overs long that session was. And right, we're just about ready to go for session number 2. If you are joining me on the live stream, please do leave a comment, and I'll try and keep you part of the chat. If you're joining afterwards, you're watching this after the fact, well, welcome. Hope you enjoy the stream, and you can relive exactly how things went down on this historic first day. Historic? It's not quite historic, but it's been very, very interesting to watch, I have to say. So here we go. Harry Brook is out in the middle. He's on 28. He'll have a big role to play if England can get up to a decent total. That first session, even though England got to a decent score, I would say belongs to Australia. You get put into field, you take 4 wickets. It's your session, I'm going to say, every single time. So here we go. Scott Boland is getting ready to start. He's had a pretty ordinary day with the ball so far. 7 overs, 0 for 39. Brooks on 28 of 41. Ben Stokes, England's captain, is on 4 of 7. 2 slips in place as Boland is about to resume play after lunch. And big crowd at the Perth Stadium. A lot of England fans, actually, have turned up to this. Boland in and beats the outside edge. A really nice length first ball from Boland. Harry Brook just playing inside that a little bit, teasing him with the outside edge as the ball goes through to the keeper, no run. I'm watching a stream on TNT Sports in the UK. It's just gone past 5 o'clock in the morning in the UK. So I'm going to get used to this. Got to get acclimatized to this time. But yeah, that's what happens when the Ashes are in Australia. A winter of late nights for fans in England. Right, here's Scott Boland in. Down the track comes Brook. He's gone after this over the infield. It's gone all the way for 6. It's gone over long off for 6. What an extraordinary shot from Harry Brook. Second ball after lunch, and he's just launched Scott Boland over long off for 6. That's extraordinary. Well, he comes down the track, just hits the ball through the line, over the infield, over the outfield, over long on for 6. That's incredible. That's extraordinary. That I did not expect to see. But here we go. I think Harry Brook has made his intention very clear. He's on to 34 or 43. England 111 for 4. And there's Boland into Brook, who works this ball just behind square on the leg side this time. Fine leg will pick up in field. They're going to come back for 2. That's good aggressive running as well by Brook and Stokes. And England, well, it's pretty clear how they want to go after lunch. They want to score some runs and they want to do it quickly. Boland's very ordinary day with the ball is continuing. And you can't really fault him. He bowled a good first ball after lunch, and then since then, England have got, well, Harry Brook has gone after him. Brook's on 36 of 44. England going at a very good run rate, just under 5 runs and over at the moment. It's the 4 wickets in that column that might be bothering them a little bit. Still 2 slips and a gully in place for Boland, who's into Brook, who defends this ball back to the bowler in a conventional manner. There is no run. 113 for 4. My goodness, what an exhilarating start after lunch for England. Harry Brook going inside out, over long off for 6. That's extraordinary. Well, if you've just joined in, just wanting to find out what's been happening in the day's play. Well, as I mentioned, England won the toss a little bit earlier, at the start of the day, I should say. Opted to bat first. Steve Smith, the Australian captain, the acting Australian captain, said he would have done the exact same thing as Boland into Brook again, who defends this ball into the onside. There is no run. And yeah, so I can give you the teams Australia announced their team a couple of days ahead of time. Usman Khwaja, Jake Weatherald, Marnus Lambashane, Steve Smith, Travis Head, Cam Green, Alex Carey, Mitchell Stark, Nathan Lyon, Scott Boland, and Brendan Doggett. Brendan Doggett is on Test debut. Bowled really well, I thought, in his first spell. And for England, I'll give you their lineup after the next ball because Scott Boland is running into bowl the final ball of his 8th over into Harry Brook, who just defends the ball behind square on the offside. There is no run, so 8 runs off the first over after lunch. England 113 for 4, 24 overs into their innings. Right, so England. Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett, both of whom have been dismissed, by the way. Ollie Pope, also dismissed. Joe Root, also dismissed. And Harry Brook and Ben Stokes, who are currently out in the middle. And Jamie Smith still to come, Gus Atkinson, Bryden Cast, Jofra Archer, and Mark Wood. So England have gone with an all-pace attack for this test match. And Joe Root, I guess, offering some spin option for England a little bit later on, potentially, where they've opted to go for a seam as is traditional at Perth. This is the Optus Stadium, which is known for being bouncy and quick, although it's worth mentioning ever since the drop-in pitches have come into Perth, it's not been that same Perth wicket that we've been used to seeing in the 80s and 90s and 2000s and 2010s. In fact, this is a little bit different. England had kept Shoaib Bashir in the squad. There was thinking maybe Bashir would play this test match, but he didn't in the end. Anyway, Mitch Stark is into Ben Stokes, who works this ball away towards mid-wicket. Nicely played, just wide of the fielder. They're going to come back for 2. Again, good aggressive running from England, and a little bit ordinary in the field from Australia. England onto a 115 for 4 after 24.1 overs. Stokes on 6, Brook on 36. Mitch Stark has bowled beautifully so far today, took the first 3 wickets. First to go, Zach Crawley fell in the first over of the day. He was caught by Khwaja at first slip off the bowling of Stark. And then Ben Duckett was LBW to Mitch Stark. And then Joe Root was dismissed for a duck by Mitch Stark, caught by Lambashane at third slip. Here's Stark now into Stokes, who leaves this ball outside the off stump through to the keeper. There is no run. And so those were the 4 wickets to fall. That 4th wicket partnership was worth 55. So England at one point were 39 for 3. And then Ollie Pope and Harry Brook salvaged things a little bit with a 55-run partnership. And then just before lunch, Ollie Pope was LBW for 46 to Cam Green. And Cam Green thus far has only bowled 1 over. It went for 10 runs. And then with his final delivery, he managed to dismiss Ollie Pope. He did take a review. England have taken 2 reviews so far. One of them was on umpire's call, so they've retained one of them. But they were unsuccessful on both occasions. Here's Mitch Stark in. It's a good length outside the off stump, left alone by Stokes. There is no run. If you're joining us on the stream, please do give us a like, leave us a comment. Let us know what you're reading of the matches so far. How many runs do we think England need here to vindicate the captain's decision to bat first? And the equivalent, Australia. How many runs would they like to dismiss England for? Sorry, I've just got a little something in my eye. It'll be okay, don't worry. Nothing to worry about. No alarm. Right, Mitch Stark has been terrific today. He's bowled at great pace and got a bit of movement early doors. 3 for 26 his figures from 8.3 overs. And he comes now to Brook, who leaves this ball alone outside the off stump. I beg your pardon, he's coming into Stokes. It's Stokes who's on strike. Mitch Stark has been very impressive today. Just hit a very good length, got a lot of movement, and been the only bowler really to cause problems and indecision for England's batters. And Stokes and Brook will be hoping to put on a partnership. Steve Smith brought on Stark for a little burst just before the lunch break. But this is the spell where I'll be hoping Stark can break the back of this England lineup even more. He's already got 3 wickets to his name. What can he do here? 3 slips and a gully in place. Stark runs in and bowls to Ben Stokes, and he's bowled him. Oh my goodness, what a delivery from Mitch Stark. Ben Stokes didn't know anything about that one. It went through him off stump, pegged back, middle stump disturbed, bails all over the place. And Mitch Starc has a fourth wicket. England now 5 down, 115 for 5. One ball to come in the 25th over. And it's Mitch Starc who's continuing his destruction job here on England. What a delivery between the bat and the pads. Just cut the batter in half. Stokes playing completely down the wrong line. And well, that's exactly what Starc was required to do by Australia. And Ben Stokes, disappointing for him. He goes for 6 off 12 deliveries. Mitch Starc has a fourth. He's on for a fiver here. What a performance from Mitch Starc on day one of this Ashes series. Took 3 wickets very early in the piece, and now he's added a fourth, and you wouldn't want to bet against him picking up a 5th wicket. This is outstanding stuff from Mitch Starc. Earlier today, he took his 100th wicket. That's his 101st wicket, by the way, in Ashes Test matches. And what a performance. What a player for Australia. And what a start for them as well. They'll be thinking about getting through England on the cheap here. If they could bowl England out under 200, maybe. That's what they're thinking about at this point, Australia. England 115 for 5 and reeling. And remember, they've got a slightly longer tail today as well. Still Gus Atkinson to come, but then Bryden Cast, Jofra Archer, Mark Wood. Yeah, he wouldn't want to go too far past them. Jamie Smith, really the last recognised batter, joining Harry Brook. I shouldn't say that. I mean, Gus Atkinson's got a Test match 100 to his name. But these are testing conditions. And Australia really testing England today. It's really been one man. I mean, I know Cam Green's got a wicket, but Mitch Starc, 4 for 26 from 8.5. This has been incredible. And he comes now to Jamie Smith, who defends his first ball to mid-on. There is no run. That is the end of a successful over from Mitch Starc. Another one, 4 for 26 from 9 overs. He's been outstanding today. And again, thank you to everybody who's joined the live stream. If you are able to, give us a thumbs up for the live stream. I'll keep you updated, and you can watch along this session with me. I'll tell you everything that's happening. Just taking a look at that Ben Stokes dismissal again. Completely played down the wrong line. Looking to drive the ball, and the ball goes between bat and pad. Smacks the top of off stump. And he was really set up for that nicely by Mitch Starc, who bowled a few outside off stump, just setting him up really. Outside off, outside off, outside off, and then angles one in to the to the left-handed Stokes. Really high-class display of fast bowling from Mitch Starc today. Really, really impressive stuff. Now, Scott Boland has been less impressive. 0 for 47 from his 8 overs so far. And he comes to Jamie Smith. I beg your pardon, it's Harry Brook who's on strike, who turns that ball just in front of square on the leg side, picks up another single. Brook on to 37 now. England 116 for 5 after 25.1 overs. And just a reminder, if you're watching the stream, please do give us a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithms. And I hope you're enjoying this watch along with me. I'm going to try and do quite a few of these during this series. So if you're keen, subscribe to my channel, and you can join me. There's lots of other content on my channel as well. Highly recommend watching my cricket history series. Bodyline is mentioned in there. Here's Boland with his 3 slips into Smith, who works this ball to square leg, where it's fielded by Marnus Lambashane. There is no run taken. So Smith yet to get off the mark. England 116 for 5. Oh, in fact, that's a no ball, is it? Or is the umpire just stretching his arm? It's umpire Nitin Menon of India. Who's the standing umpire? Just looking at the foot. Yeah, it is a no ball. That's the second no ball that Scott Boland's bowled today. Maybe striving for a bit of extra pace. England on to 117 for 5. Here's Boland in again, as Jamie Smith defends that ball into the offside. There is no run. And Jamie Smith currently averages 30 in overseas test matches. Just one score above 50. This would be a great time for your second one, Jamie. He had a good summer against India. He scored 184 not out at Edgbaston against India. 88 in that second innings. Really entertaining test series this summer between England and India. And the Ashes looks like it's going to be very entertaining as well. Here's Boland into Jamie Smith, who again defends the ball outside the off stump into the offside. There is no run. I wonder how England are going to approach the next few overs here. Do they continue to push forward? Do they continue to be aggressive? Or do they just take stock of the situation and try and bat out a little bit? It's not really been their style of late. Going at a terrific run rate. It's just the wickets. They're 5 down, 117 for 5. Oh, what an opportunity this is for Jamie Smith. Harry Brook looking very confident at the non-striker's end. He's on 37 off 48. Boland into Smith. This is a little bit shorter outside off, and Smith works it to point. There is no run. Mitch Starc does the fielding, and he's got a smile on his face. Why wouldn't he have? He's had a terrific day with the ball. Really the starring performance of the day so far. Ollie Pope had a good little knock, played some nice shots, but fell short of a half century. He'll be gutted as well. Cam Green dismissed him LBW. Looked like it could be marginal to the naked eye, but the DRS review showed that it was umpire's call. Here's Boland in, leading edge. Oh, as it struck the pad, there's a big appeal for LBW. Huge appeal from Boland. Umpire is unmoved. I thought it took a leading edge, but it must have struck the pad at some point. Now, Smith is having a chat with Boland. Are they going to review this? They're having a chat. There's a few Australian players crowded around Steve Smith. He's looking at Boland. He's waving his arms. 3 seconds on the DRS timer. And with 1 second on the DRS timer, Steve Smith makes the T symbol. So we're going to get a review. Now, this is a nervy moment for Jamie Smith and England. 6 down at this point, and England are really staring down the barrel of a pretty shocking performance with the bat, really. TV umpire is Sharfadullah Saikat of Bangladesh. He's going to preside over this DRS. Let's have another look at it. Oh, it was definitely pad first. Umpire's given it not out. So just looking at it, you can see off stump and middle stump behind the batter. It might be clipping leg stump. I think it might be sliding down, actually. But even if it's clipping, Jamie Smith might be okay here. The crucial thing is the umpire's given it not out. So here we go. Very quick with the reviews here. It is missing leg stump. It is missing leg stump. So Jamie Smith is safe. And Australia will lose a review. And that's a very good decision by umpire Nitin Menon on field. And also, I've got to say, the turnaround speed on these DRS calls is brilliant. I've been watching the T20 matches between Pakistan and Zimbabwe and the ODI series between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. It took ages for the DRSs to come through. These are lightning quick. It's just impressive. Right. Mighty Blues with a comment. 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, sing along. It's early days, mate. It's just session 2, day 1. Boland into Smith. Thick outside edge, past the slip fielder, and that's going to go down to the deep third boundary for 4. Jamie Smith off the mark with a boundary. Not ultra convincing, but he did play it with soft hands past the second slip fielder, and he picks up 4. So England 121 for 5 after 26 overs. Well, it's been a tough day for England's batter. Has it been a tough day? Have they played poor shots? I'm not sure. But watching it, I'm sure a lot of England fans will be feeling a bit frustrated, especially having seen their captain win the toss and opt to bat first. Just a reminder again, if you're joining the stream, please do give us a thumbs up. It really helps us in the algorithm. And leave us a comment. How many runs do you think England are going to get here? Because it doesn't feel like it's going to be a lot, does it? 121 for 5. Brook on 37. Smith on 4. And Mitch Starc has his tail up. Figures of 4 for 26 from his 9 overs so far. He's got 2 slips in place and a gully as he begins his 10th over. And he comes to Harry Brook. It's short. Brook ducks underneath it, and the ball is collected by Alex Carey behind the stumps. And there is no run. What are we looking at? I'm thinking England from here. I want to be optimistic from an England perspective, so I'm going to say 260. 260. They'd have to do more than double what they got so far. But I feel like there's something to come. There's a little bit of backbone in this England side, I feel like. So 260 is where I'm going. What do we think on the chats? Let me know if you think I'm being optimistic. Maybe you think 160. Stark into Harry Brook, who works this ball down towards fine leg, and it's going to go to the boundary for 4. Well, Scott Boland was running towards the ball quite casually. I thought he was going to cut that off, but Harry Brook managed to get it fine enough to that fine leg boundary. Just taking another look at it. Yeah, it was just a little deft touch from Harry Brook. Didn't try and hit the ball too hard, and he picks up 4 runs for his efforts. England 125 for 5 off 26.2 overs. And Mitch Stark concedes a rare boundary. He's been outstanding today as Mitch Stark. My 260 is looking a little bit better after that boundary. But if you think I'm being optimistic, let me know. How many runs are England going to get here? How many runs can England get here? Stark into Harry Brook. It's full, beautiful straight drive from Harry Brook. Just goes past the non-striker, and the bowler can do nothing about that. Mitch Stark, he just watches as the ball travels all the way along the lush surface at Perth and to the boundary for 4. Harry Brook on to 45 with that boundary. Just a glorious shot, really. Over pitching ever so slightly and just punished by Brook. Terrific balance from Harry Brook as well, just coming forward ever so slightly aerial, but no real trouble. England 129 for 5. 26.3 overs have been bowled of this innings. Harry Brook is carrying a lot of the hopes for England here. He's standing just outside his crease, Harry Brook, as Stark is in. This is down the leg side again. Alex Carey moves across quite nonchalantly, takes the ball. There is no run. England remain 129 for 5. Harry Brook on to 45. Ollie Pope was dismissed in the 40s a little bit earlier today. How far can Harry Brook take this? It's a big, big Ashes series for him. A chance to really fulfill all the hype, all the discussion that there's been about Harry Brook, how far he's going to go, how big a player he's going to be for England going forward. Here's Mitch Stark into Harry Brook. It makes a bit of room for himself and lets the ball go through to the keeper, no run. And Mitch Stark just sort of smiles because he saw Harry Brook make a bit of room by stepping outside leg stump. And he just pushed the ball a little bit wider. And as Brook lets it go through to the keeper, he just smiled at him. He's having a really fun day at the moment, Mitch Stark. 4 wickets on the first day of an Ashes series, including his 100th Ashes series wicket. Vastly underrated is Mitch Stark. I think, a lot of the build-up, it's been about the likes of Josh Hazlewood, who's not playing because of injury. But Mitch Stark is a phenomenal, phenomenal player. He deserves his flowers. Here he comes, the final ball of his 10th over. Harry Brook on strike. Again, makes a bit of room, does Harry Brook. He bowls a full toss wide outside off stump, which Brook misses, and slightly fumbled by the keeper, but it's a dot to finish the over. England 129 for 5. 27 overs of this innings have been bowled. Brook on 45. And we're back-to-back boundaries in that over for Harry Brook, who's looking to continue playing positive cricket. But a lot of wickets have fallen on the other side. A lot of work for England to do. It's not going to be a straightforward process. And again, big thank you to everybody who's joined the stream. If you are enjoying it, please do give me a thumbs up and leave us a comment. Let us know. Give us your thoughts on this test so far as well. What do we think England are going to score? Let me know in the comments. Now then, 3 slips in place for Scott Boland into Jamie Smith, who punches this ball down the ground, just sort of straight pulled it, and is going to go to the long on boundary for 4. It wasn't the most convincing pull shot Jamie Smith has ever played, but he'll take the boundary. And it's been a bit of a theme today. Anything that goes past the bowler and past the fast bowler down the ground tends to go to the boundary for 4. And 4 more valuable runs for England. Just taking another look at it. Yeah, a little bit short. Jamie Smith looking to pull it and then opting to pull it straight. Strapple England 133 for 5. Smith on 8 on strike. Boland in. And back of a length delivery has been defended by the very tall Jamie Smith into the offside. There is no run. England will have absolutely no problem with the scoring rate. They're very happy just going at under 5 runs and over. But it's the wickets, the wickets. 133 for 5. Yeah. Been tough going for most of England's batters, but you wouldn't really know it watching Brook bat. He's on 45 or 54 at the non-strikers end. A chance for a statement innings from Harry Brook. Still the 3 slips and gully in place for Scott Boland. And he comes to Smith, who punches this ball off the back foot, just wide of cover. Not an enormous amount of timing or power behind that shot. They jog through for a single. Score moves to 134 for 5. Partnership worth at 19 now. A 4th wicket partnership was the best one for England thus far. It was worth 55 runs between Ollie Pope and Harry Brook. And it really salvaged England from a difficult position. They were 39 for 3. Although you could argue 134 for 5 isn't... It's still kind of a difficult situation, isn't it? It's not what you want, winning the toss and batting first. Here's Boland into Harry Brook. This is short. Brook sort of leaves it and then plays a pull shot, but not really. He sort of pulled it once the ball was past him. It was almost like he was practicing his shot too early. Scott Boland's gone at exactly a run a ball so far today. 9.4 overs, 0 for 58. Expensive. Leaking runs. And he's had to watch Mitch Stark, his opening partner, do an excellent job. 4 wickets for Mitch Stark so far today. 1 for Cam Green. We've also seen Nathan Lyon bowl a couple of overs. Here's Boland. Down the track comes Harry Brook and cracks that away out towards deep extra cover. It hasn't really been timed beautifully. The ball is trickling towards the advertising sponge. It's going to slow up and just stop. Travis Head is going to track it down. They'll get through for 3 runs. And we've seen this happen a few times today. The outfield at Perth is very, very slow. I understand that he didn't time it beautifully, Harry Brook, on that occasion, but let's have a look at it. Yeah, sort of toe-endish. But even so, the ball just stopped. You very rarely see the ball just stop on the outfield. Anyway, Brook on to 49 with that. England 138 for 5. Let me just close WhatsApp on my computer. I don't want those notifications. Here's Boland into Brook, who defends the ball. Back to the bowler. There is no run. England 138 for 5. And again, just leave me a comment. Let me know what you're making of this contest so far. And I'm going to put in a little tweet while we're doing this. Or a post. I think you call it a post on X now, don't you? You don't call it a tweet anymore. A really Harry Brook. Yeah. If you want to know what I wrote, you're going to have to follow me on X, I'm afraid. Can't tell you. But do leave me a comment. How many runs do you think England are going to score here? Tell me in the comments. And if you can, give me a little thumbs up as well. Keeps the algorithm liking me. What do you think? What's a good score and what can England get? 138 for 5 is where they're at right now. Right now then, Jamie Smith on strike, Mitch Stark to continue. He's got 3 slips in place as well. As Smith defends the ball back to the bowler, there is no run. 138 for 5. 260. I'm sticking by my 260. What do you think? Am I being generous? Should they get more? Should they get less? Will they get more? Will they get less? Tell me. India and South Africa starts tomorrow as well, doesn't it? I wonder what kind of audience they'll get during the Ashes. I imagine it'll still be a pretty big audience because it's India. But just I wonder how many Indian cricket fans will turn down that test in favour of this. Or maybe there'll be a bit of dual screening going on. I'm just curious. I'll definitely keep an eye on the score. It's an interesting test series. South Africa won the first test. As Stark is into Jamie Smith. Full driven beautifully. It's another gorgeous straight drive. from Jamie Smith. That's going to go to the boundary for 4. It's a quality shot. Mitch Stark over pitching. Jamie Smith in perfect position, perfect balance, just gets forward and drives that ball with sort of a 3/4 length follow through and just sort of holds the pose, does Jamie Smith. Lovely shot. Another boundary for England. And every run very crucial. 142 for 5. Taking a sip. Sorry. Mouth getting dry. Just talking to myself over it. Had quite a few people commenting on the first session. Maybe a few people have gone to bed now. Here's Stark in. There's a short pulled away out towards deep backward square leg by Jamie Smith. And that's going to go to the boundary for 4. There is a fielder positioned at deep backward square leg. That ball flew across the surface. Timed beautifully. And now back-to-back boundaries for Jamie Smith. He's on to 17 off 13 deliveries. England starting to build a little bit of momentum here. And this is the thing about this England side. They might well lose wickets, but they'll score their runs very quickly. So anytime they spend out there, England will accumulate very, very quickly. Taking another look at that really good balance there. Actually, really nice pull shot from Jamie Smith. England 146 for 5, halfway through the 29th over. Stark. He's gone for back-to-back boundaries. How does he respond? And he comes to Smith down the leg side. Smith works that away down towards fine leg. Bit of a chase on here. A good piece of fielding from Scott Boland in the end because he had to cover some ground and cover it quickly. But he got there. I think they just got through for a single in it. Yeah, they did. Just the single. So Harry Brook is on strike. Let's see if he can get to his half century here. He's on 49. Is Harry Brook? I'm going to need a big one from him today, or at least a big-ish one. Big one in the context of this game. 147 for 5, England. Here's Mitch Stark into Brook, who pulls this ball away out towards mid-wicket. He'll pick up a single, and that is a very Harry Brook style half century for Harry Brook. He's applauded warmly by all the England fans. There's a lot of England fans in Perth. There's like a whole sea of England flags, like Union Jacks and St. George's crosses. I know the Barmy Army are out there, the England supporters group, but there's loads of England supporters groups, loads of travelling England fans who are really enjoying themselves out there, and they'll enjoy it even more watching one of their players do well. Harry Brook, first English player to score a half century in this Ashes series. First player, in fact, not even English, first player to score a half century in this Ashes series. He's on 50 off 58 deliveries. That's his 14th half century. And this is, again, on a leg stump line. Smith has flicked this ball really fine. A good effort in the deep from Scott Boland, but in the end, it's unsuccessful. He took out a bit of turf as well. That ball's gone for 4. A very expensive over that from Mitch Stark. 14 runs coming from it in the end. England finding a flurry of runs. They've gone past 150 with that boundary as well. 152 for 5. Smith on 22 off 16 deliveries. Harry Brook on 50 off 58. No, just ever so slightly offline. Maybe guilty of going a little bit too leg side in that over, Mitch Stark. And England punished him. Just taking a look at that, it was a very bumpy landing for Scott Boland. Hopefully he's okay. Australia don't really want to see their fast bowlers tumbling around too much. They've already down a couple of fast bowlers. Pat Cummins injured, Josh Hazlewood injured. You don't want to lose Scott Boland as well at this point. In fact, I think maybe just as a precaution, but Scott Boland is going off the field and the substitute fielder is coming on. I think maybe Bo Webster is a substitute fielder who's going to come on. Either way, Scott Boland is going to go out of the attack as well. And we're going to have Doggett back in for another spell. His first spell was reasonably tidy. Brendan Doggett, 5 overs, 1 maiden, 0 for 17 from his first spell. Looked decent. One of those bowlers who's a little bit quicker than they look. Just skids off the surface. And here's Doggett into Harry Brook now. This is short and pulled away by Harry Brook. There is a fielder in position. It's Weatherald out there at mid wicket, so it'll just be a single. Harry Brook looks very comfortable out there at the moment, timing the ball beautifully, scoring his runs at a really good pace. 51 off 59 for him. England 153 for 5. And Jamie Smith on 22 off 15. England lost 4 wickets in the first session, and very quickly after lunch they lost Ben Stokes. Mitch Stark has taken 4 wickets, 1 for Cam Green. England looking to get as many runs as they possibly can here, just salvage something, vindicate that decision to bat first at Perth. As Doggett is into Smith. There's a short and wide outside the off stump. Smith has cut this away and placed it quite nicely wide of the fielder, extra cover. The outfield is very, very slow, so it's not going to go to the boundary. And they should be able to get back for 3. I'm pretty sure they've made it back for 3. I'll confirm that in a moment. Yep, they have got back for 3. So England 156 for 5. And in the last couple of overs, England have really started scoring their runs at a very good pace. The partnership now worth 41 of just 28 deliveries. 41 of 28 balls. It's impressive stuff. Brendan Doggett, the debutant, under a bit of pressure. And he comes. It's a short again, pulled again away nicely by Harry Brook. That fielder at fine leg's been busy. It's Mitch Stark now who's fielding at fine leg. It'll just be a single on this occasion. Fine leg is almost directly behind the wicketkeeper because it's been a very busy position today. Steve Smith not giving anything away with his facial expressions. You'd think he'd be pleased. I mean, I know this partnership's getting irritating from his perspective, but 157 for 5. Surely you'd have a bit of that if you're the Australian captain, acting Australian captain. On the off chance that Pat Cummins is watching the stream. Here's Doggett in, driven off the back foot by Harry Brook behind square. Sorry, Jamie Smith, I beg your pardon. The ball's running away towards the deep third boundary. It's been fielded. They should be able to get back for 2 or 3. I think 2. See, I'm not at the ground. They got 3. I'm not at the ground, otherwise I'd be able to tell you that straight away. I'm watching on TNT Sports in the UK, where it is currently just going 5:40 a.m. So it started at 2:20 a.m. UK time, the match this evening, now morning. England 160 for 5. Brook on 52. Smith on 28. Brendan Doggett on debut. 0 for 25 his figures from 5.4 overs. And he comes to Harry Brook. This is short. Brook looking for the pull. Appeal for caught behind by the keeper. Big appeal. Has he strangled him? Does the keeper think he strangled him? Now, Carey says he heard a noise. And with about 12 seconds left on the DRS timer, Steve Smith has asked for the review. This would be Brendan Doggett's first wicket in Test cricket if he has indeed strangled him. The on-field umpire didn't give it out. It's been reviewed, but they look very confident, Australia. High fives and hair tussles and everything. And in fact, Harry Brook is walking. So he must know he's got some bat on it. Harry Brook's walking before the TV umpire has even weighed in, which is kind of telling. Does he even need to weigh in now if Brook's walking? If Harry Brook's walking, surely, yeah, we're having a look at it. Oh, he just got a little bit of glove on it. As it went down the leg side, he got a little bit of glove on it, Harry Brook. Just punched it, basically. Gave it a little jab as he was trying to just get away from it. And it was taken by Alex Carey behind the stumps. Well, what a moment for Brendan Doggett in his first Test match. He takes his first wicket. And it's Harry Brook, not a bad one to get. England's top scorer so far in this innings. Harry Brook has to go for 52 from 61 deliveries. England now 160 for 6. They've batted for less than 30 overs so far. And they're already 6 wickets down. Harry Brook very guiltily actually looked at the keeper behind him. I think he knew. And even though the on-field umpire gave him not out, Steve Smith, Alex Carey immediately were like, yeah, we're reviewing that, mate. You don't often see reviews with like more than 10 seconds left on the DRS timer. Well, that 260 is going to take some getting now. Brendan Doggett, what a moment for the young man from Queensland, Harry Brook. As soon as it was referred, he started walking. He knew he'd punched it. He started walking. Now then, England 6 wickets down at 160 and in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. If you're with me on the live stream, tell me in the comments how many runs you think they're going to get now. 160 for 6. England. Gus Atkinson walks out to the middle. Played 14 test matches for England. Scored that memorable century at Lord's. This would be a pretty good time to get your second ton, Gus. Well, not a blow for England. I remember that 118 that Gus Atkinson scored at Lord's against Sri Lanka last summer. Really memorable knock. Here's Doggett now into Atkinson. This is short. Atkinson pulls the ball away. His first ball out towards mid-wicket. Just be a single. Atkinson off the mark straight away, and he'll keep the strike as well. Either way, good over, a successful over from Doggett. With some runs off it, 9 runs coming off it, but he did get the big wicket of Harry Brook. And really, it's been that kind of day for Australia, even though they conceded runs and at times leaked runs, and England scored their runs very quickly. Australia have constantly just taken wickets. 4 for Mitch Starc, 1 for Cam Green, and 1 for the debutant, Brendan Doggett. England in trouble here. It's not really the kind of total you look for. If they're bowled out for less than 200, having won the toss and opted to bat first, well, there might be a little bit of doom and gloom. There was a lot of optimism about this England side coming into the series, wasn't there? And they might still be there. I don't know. It's only the first day, but it's not the way you want to start if you're England. Now then, Mitch Starc is going to bowl to Gus Atkinson. 3 slips and a gully in place. Nice aggressive field as Mitch Starc hunts for his 5th wicket. Into Atkinson, outside edge, catch is taken at second slip. It was a beautiful delivery from Mitch Starc, and what a performance. A 5-wicket haul on day 1 of an Ashes series for him. Excellent catch at second slip, outside edge. Too good, really. That ball was just too good for Gus Atkinson. And Mitch Starc is congratulated by his teammates. He's given the ball. He holds up the ball as well. I think Glenn McGrath started that tradition where bowlers would hold up the ball after they take a 5-wicket haul. Just taking another look at it. Yeah, thick outside edge ball. Good catch, actually, at second slip by Steve Smith. They've been very good in the slips today, Australia. Catches for Usman Khawaja, Marnus Labuschagne, and now Steve Smith as well. At all the different slips. Usman Khawaja took a catch at first slip. Marnus Labuschagne took a catch at third slip. And Steve Smith has taken a catch at second slip. So, spreaded the catches out of Australia in the slip cordon. And Mitch Starc, an outstanding performance from him. 5 for 48. And England, 161 for 7. So England in a lot of trouble. That's Mitch Starc's 17th 5-wicket haul in test matches. He played 101 test matches, and this is his 17th 5-wicket haul. He's gone past 100 wickets in Ashes test matches in this series as well. What a player. Absolutely phenomenal. Now then, Bryden Carse is the new batter. And what a tough spot to come in and bat in. 3 slips and a gully still in place. Starc into Carse, who drives off a thick outside edge past that gully fielder down towards the deep third boundary. The ball will get to the boundary. So Bryden Carse first ball picks up 4 runs. England will take every run they can get. 165 for 7 off 30.2 overs. England since lunch have hit 8 4s and 1 6. So they haven't backed off at all, but they've also lost 3 wickets. It's not been that long since lunch. You know, it's been less than an hour. They've lost 3 wickets. They lost 4 wickets in the first session. Well, here's Mitch Starc into Bryden Carse again, who defends this ball from his crease into the offside. And there is no run. Um, this is looking a bit ominous for England, I have to say. 165 for 7. Australia have been very, very good. Well, this Mitch Stark really is carrying this Australian team with an outstanding display of fast bowling, but he's been supported by his fielders, his captain, lots of England fags at the Optus Stadium in Perth, but none of them flying at the moment. As Stark is in and just teases the outside edge of Bryden Cast. He just sort of pushed at it, did Bryden Cast, and nearly gave it the outside edge through to the keeper. Oh dear. Looking at it again, just going across the right hander. Oh, it's just too good. Just too good, this from Mitch Stark. He's hunting wickets at the moment, putting in a sensational performance. 5 for 52 from his 11.4 overs. There's a massive, massive crowd at Perth has been treated to a stunning display of fast bowling today, particularly from Mitch Stark. And he comes to Bryden Cast again, who watchfully guides this ball to gully. There is no run. Jamie Smith sort of stranded at the non-strikers end at the moment. He's been batting quite well. Just they're showing us on the TV at the moment when Bryden Cast came out to take his guard, and Steve Smith was doing something else. They've got yellow collars on their whites of Australia, or Marnus Lambashane and Steve Smith do anyway. Do they all have those yellow collars? Did I miss something? Hold on. Stark in, slightly fuller, driven nicely by Bryden Cast. Should be able to pick up one, maybe two. Yeah, they're going to get back for two. I mean, England haven't done a lot of things brilliantly today, but one of the things they've done right is run well between the wickets. 6 runs off that over, and the big wicket of I keep forgetting they're losing wickets at such a pace, wasn't it? Well, first to go today was Zach Crawley. He fell to Mitchell Stark, and then Ben Duckett was LBW to Mitch Stark, and then Joe Root was caught by Marnus Lambashane off the bowling of Mitchell Stark. That was his 3rd wicket. And then Ollie Pope was LBW for 46 by Cam Green. And Mitch Stark bowled Ben Stokes with one that just came back into him for 6. And then there was Harry Brook, who was strangled down the leg side by Doggett. And then a thick outside edge off the bat of Gus Atkinson to Steve Smith at 2nd slip off the bowling of Mitch Stark. That's the story. I got some more comments. Dib Raj is back with us. I'll read them out in a second, as this next ball from Doggett has been pulled out towards a deep backward square leg by Jamie Smith. I'll take a single. Score moves to 168 for 7. Right. Just pray. Let's pray England is not bundled by 200. Pretty bad picture indeed. Also, I can see the London Spirit behind you on the shelf in your room. Yeah, that's a hat the London Spirit sent me. That's actually the backdrop for my my TikTok and Instagram channel. So over there, I've got a backdrop that I use specifically for my Instagram videos and my TikTok videos. So if you get a chance, do check those out as well. I post them on YouTube as well, in the YouTube Shorts thing. So if you ever want to see that. Doggett into Cast, who ducks a bouncer as the ball goes through to Carey, no run. Yeah, if you're enjoying this, I'd appreciate you sharing it with your friends, and let's build a little community of people who like to watch cricket and talk about it. Keep the comments flowing, and if it's not too much trouble, give me a little thumbs up. That's always good for the algorithm, right? Yeah, I've got a fun backdrop. One day I'll do a TikTok video where I talk through all my backdrops. I've done a ton of videos, and I just like to talk about the fun stuff in cricket. Here's Doggett in, and he struck him on the helmet. Oh, Bryden Cast just ducked straight into it. He basically headbutted the ball. Well, they're going to have to do a little concussion check, I'm sure. He just headbutted the ball. I'm going to take another look at this just to confirm that. Yeah, it was a short ball. Just took off from a length and, yeah, straight into the grill. Wow. Hopefully he's okay. I'm just going to double check because I think my stream is a little bit behind, but head butted the ball. Yeah, he's okay. They're doing a concussion check. Yeah, he kind of took his. This is one thing they always tell you: don't take your eye off the ball. Now, who am I to say that, right? I'm not the guy who's facing up to 136 kilometers per hour bowler who's very skiddy off the surface. But yeah, he's having his little concussion test done at the moment. As Bryden Cast, I think he's okay. He looks unfazed. He's a very strong man. I've interviewed Bryden Cast before a couple of times and actually commentated on his first wicket for the BBC. You see Jofra Archer ready with his pads on as well to come out and bowl. England 168 for 7 as they're taking a little break for that concussion check. Ooh, oh, painful to watch. He's okay. Don't worry, he's okay. He's ready. He's back on strike. His dog it in. He's gone after this one. That's Carson looking for a swashbuckling shot over the covers. Misses as the ball goes through to the keeper. No run. I think he's been given a different helmet. He's still adjusting the strap. Doggett really gets the ball to take off from the surface. I think he's a really good pick for the surface from Australia, regardless of what his return is. Like the tactics make complete sense. You know, Doggett is sprinting in towards Bryden Cast. This is short, and Cast has got a hold of this one. Oh, it's gone straight to the fielder at deep backward square leg. Well, he timed it well, did Bryden Cast, but he hit the ball straight down the fielder's throat in the deep. I guess Marnus Lambashane who's taken the catch, and England lose an 8th wicket now. Doggett has a 2nd wicket on debut. Well, Bryden Cast, he just went after it. Big swing. Connected. It was a really good catch from Marnus Lambashane because the ball was sort of travelling flat. It wasn't one that was hit miles up in the air. It was travelling quite flat. And that's an 8th wicket down now for England. 168 for 8. Now they're in serious trouble. Just Archer and Wood to go. Well, I wonder how Jamie Smith is going to play this now. Do we think he's going to try and farm the strike? Will he play more aggressively? Will he try and play his shots? Dear oh dear. It's not been wonderful for England. Not a terrific performance. But you have to hand it to Australia. Have England kind of handed it to Australia? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Mitch Stark's bowling performance. He's been outstanding. But some of the shots that England have played, and I'm thinking of Zach Crawley, very ordinary. Very ordinary. And something to reflect on for England. Will they back themselves to bowl out this Australian team for less than 200 as well? Wow. Here's Doggett into Jofra Archer. It's a short ball first up, and Archer ducks underneath it. That ball goes through to the keeper. So that's the end of Doggett's over. Successful one. Just the one run and the wicket coming from it. And England in all sorts of trouble. Just looking at that setup from Doggett, it was a short ball first that really made him uncomfortable, smacked him in the grill. And then he tried to go after one outside off stump. Then he nailed one out towards a deep backward square leg, but just picked out the fielder. Brendan Doggett, not a bad debut at all. 2 for 27 from his 7 overs so far. Mitch Stark's going to take the headlines, though. 5 for 54 from his 12 so far. And he's coming back. He's going to bowl to Jamie Smith, who's going to be on strike. England 168 for 8. Just 32 overs have been bowled. Only 32 overs in to the Ashes. And I wonder how many reviews and previews and things like that are being rewritten as we speak. Yeah, I think just reflecting on it, there's been a lot of poor shot selection from England. Australia have bowled well, but that many edges to the slips. At least three of them that I remember. Here's Stark into Jamie Smith, who's pulled this ball out towards mid wicket, and that's gone for four. That's a very good shot from Jamie Smith. I think we speculated about how England might play this. We have our answer. Jamie Smith's going to play some shots. 172 for 8 now, England. Smith on to 33. Yeah, he's going to go after this as the young man from Surrey. It was short. I don't know if I could say it was there for it. Maybe it's there for it if you're a confident batter who's middling everything. He's using a New Balance bat, is Jamie Smith. It's nice to be able to say the names of the brands because this is just my YouTube. It's not like monetized or anything, so I can say whatever I want. Whereas like on the BBC and stuff, you wouldn't really acknowledge the brand unless it was part of a story. Here's Stark into Jamie Smith, who makes a bit of room and goes for a big swing. Doesn't connect. Mitch Stark is sensing his sixth wicket. He's feeling it. I think he's looking for a sixth wicket. He's got 5 for 58 so far. 172 for 8. England. It's not the scoreline. I feel like it's just gone 6 o'clock in the UK. In fact, it's just 2 minutes to 6. A lot of people will be waking up to get ready to have breakfast or get ready for work or what have you. This is not the score that they wanted to see. I promise you. This is not the score that they were hoping to see from England. But it might be one that they were used to. Stark into Smith. Outside the off stump, driven off a thick inside edge back towards the bowler who half fields, does enough actually to prevent any runs. So now, be curious to see if Jamie Smith tries to farm the strike. 3 balls to go in this over. Jofra Archer's just faced the 1 ball so far. I feel like Jamie Smith will be okay with Jofra Archer facing everybody but Mitchell Stark right now. I think that's the plan for Jamie Smith. We'll see. He's on 33 of 21 deliveries so far. England 172 for 8. Stark into Smith, who's pulled this ball away out towards mid-wicket. Does it have the distance? It does not. The catch is taken at mid-wicket. And, I told you I had that feeling. Mitch Stark has a 6th wicket. 6 for 58 is figures. England are now 9 down, 172 for 9. A good catch out in the deep. Jamie Smith felt like he wanted to get as many runs as he possibly could, as quickly as he could. That was his best option, he thought. But Mitch Stark, he's just been given a bonus wicket there, really, if you think about it. And he's bowled really well today, take nothing away. What's that comment say? Gya bhai gya. Yeah, I can't argue with you, bud. Jamie Smith goes for 33 of 22. Cam Green with the catch. And Mitch Stark, 6 for 58. Outstanding today. You couldn't dream of a better first day of the Ashes than that, could you, as a fast bowler at Perth? Yeah. Jamie Smith was looking to go big. It's a big side of the ground. It's not a great option, you got to say. Now, I can see Usman Khwaja is being focused on by the TV cameras. I think they're thinking he's going to get ready to bat soon. And likely alongside Weatherald. Oof. Is this going to be one of those short test matches? Could this be like a 3 or 4 day test match? How many wickets could England get today? Well, think about it. If Australia bowl out England in the next few overs, England have only batted 32.4 overs so far. Only 32.4 overs so far. Like, they scored 172 runs. They've gone at nearly a run a ball. But what is the point? 32.40. Like, more than half the day is left in terms of more than half of the day's play is remaining. Mark Wood is the new batter. And Mitch Stark is looking at a 7 for here. I promise you he's looking for a 7 for. He's got Wood and Archer out in the middle. Here's Stark into Wood, who's gone after this. Oh, he's gone a long way up in the air. Catch should be taken by the keeper. It is taken by the keeper. And that's it. England are bowled out for 172. Wow. Mitch Stark has a 7-wicket haul. 7 for 58 from 12.5 overs. Well, what do you say to that? England bowled out for 172. in 32.5 overs. They won the toss and decided to bat first. All right, let's read some of these comments. Debraj, I guess it's like deja vu all over. Question: didn't the England batters weren't ready for the bouncy wickets of Perth? Just curious, Atif, by wickets falling like raindrops. You'd think they were prepared. I mean, they haven't had any warm-up matches there, obviously, but they looked unprepared, didn't they, with the way some of the dismissals went down? It's very disappointing. No name up to Smith had no other choice, I believe. You're correct. Stark. Well, wow. Mitchell Stark, what a performance. Everybody was talking about Pat Cummins. Everybody was talking about Josh Hazelwood. But it's Mitch Stark who's leading his team off. What a performance. Everybody in that stand that they're walking off on is on their feet applauding him. And rightfully so. It's been a terrific, terrific bowling performance from Mitchell Stark. It's yeah, it's been really, really good. Let me talk you through that scorecard briefly for England. Reminder: Ben Stokes won the toss, decided to bat first at the start of the day. Zach Crawley was dismissed in the first over of play for naught off the bowling of Mitchell Stark, caught by Khwaja at first slip. Then Ben Duckett was dismissed for 21, LBW to Mitchell Stark. Then Joe Root was dismissed for a duck as well, caught at third slip by Marnus Lambashane and off the bowling of Stark. And then Ollie Pope and Harry Brook had a little partnership, but then Ollie Pope was LBW to Cam Green. And that's the only over Cam Green bowled, by the way. He took a wicket, and that was it. LBW. He dismissed Ollie Pope for 46. Then Harry Brook got himself a half century, 52 off 61 for him. Eventually, he was caught behind, strangled down the leg side. The first wicket for debutant Brendan Doggett. Ben Stokes was bowled by Mitchell Stark. A beautiful delivery, beautiful delivery. If you get a chance, find it on social media. Then Gus Atkinson was caught by Steve Smith at second slip for 1. Bryden Cast was caught by Marnus Lambashane off the bowling of Doggett for 6. And then Mark Wood was just caught by Alex Carey, skied one off the bowling of Stark. Jamie Smith went as well as trying to go big. He was caught in the deep by Cam Green off the bowling of Stark for 33. England 172 all out. And Brendan Doggett, great debut, 2 for 27 from his 7 overs. Cam Green, 1 for 10 from his 1 over. Star of the show, by far and away, Mitchell Stark, 7 for 58 from his 12.5 overs. 4 maidens in there as well. 2 of them were wicket maidens. Just really, really impressive stuff from Mitch Stark and the Australian fielders as well, who took their catches really, really well. England have been blown away by Australia. Absolutely blown away. Proper statement of intent from Australia, but you do have to contribute. You have to wonder how much England themselves have contributed to their downfall with their shot selection and their approach. I mean, they scored their runs at a pretty good rate, over 5 runs and over, 5.23 runs and over. But what good is that if you're bowled out inside 33 overs? 32.5 overs is how much they played, how long they batted. Pretty atrocious, if I'm honest. Right. I'm like, while we wait for the turnaround in innings, I'm going to take a little break. What I will do in the meantime is play you a little video of another one of my YouTube videos. It's something, give you a little flavor of my channel, the kind of videos that I post on there. This video is about the Bodyline series. In fact, sorry, I'm going to play you a video about Cricket's Forgotten Champions League. I'm quite proud of this one. I quite like this video. It's it gives you a little bit of insight into a part of cricket history that people don't remember that much. But I want to share, I'll read some final comments just before we take a little break, and I'll come back for the start of the new innings on this stream. So, by the way, if you've got any friends who might enjoy the stream, please do recommend it to them. If you're watching, please leave me a thumbs up. That really helps me in the algorithm. Right, I wanted Root to get some runs. I think a lot of people wanted Root to get some runs, my friend, but it's not going to happen. Right, in the meantime, let's get you some content to watch so I can take a little break before we start the next innings. Here is Cricket's Forgotten Champions League here. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. Hang on, how do I do this? I'm still working out how to do the screen sharing thing. Here we go. Share screen. Ugh. Yeah. Share. Okay. Here we go.
Do you remember cricket's Champions League? No, not the football one, or the ones. There's loads in football. I'm talking about cricket's Champions League, or to give it its full title, the Champions League 2020. Hi, I'm Atif Nawaz, and today we're talking about one of cricket's most ambitious, confusing, and quietly fascinating experiments, the Champions League T20, a tournament that was supposed to be cricket's answer to the UEFA Champions League and instead became what might have been story. The idea was simple on paper. Domestic T20 leagues were exploding. The IPL had arrived. Crowds loved this new fast format. So the big boards, the BCCI in India, Cricket Australia, and Cricket South Africa, that's the original big three. They decided, why not take the best T20 teams from around the world and put them into one big super tournament. The competition was launched in 2008 and the first edition took place in October 2009. It was huge prize money from day one. The tournament had a total prize pool of around $6 million, with $2.5 million going to the champions. At the time, this was the richest prize in franchise cricket. A massive global media rights deal was signed as well. It was valued at around $900 million over 10 years, plus extra for marketing. This wasn't a side project. This was meant to be the global club competition. The format changed a bit over the years, but the basic idea stayed the same. Teams qualified by winning or reaching the final of their domestic T20 tournaments. Sides from India, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, West Indies, Sri Lanka, England, and later Pakistan all had a pathway in. There was a group stage followed by semi-finals and a final. From 2011 onwards, they added a qualifying round where some champions had to battle just to make the main event. Let's talk about some of the tournaments. The first edition in 2009 was held in India. New South Wales Blues from Australia beat a brilliant Trinidad and Tobago side in the final. In 2010, hosted by South Africa, Chennai Super Kings beat the Warriors to take the title. In 2011, Mumbai Indians beat Royal Challengers Bangalore in a low-scoring nervy final in Chennai. In 2012, Sydney Sixers hammered the Lions at the Wanderers in Johannesburg. Then in 2013 and 2014, it was back to India. Mumbai Indians beat Rajasthan Royals in 2013, and Chennai Super Kings chased down Kolkata Knight Riders in a high-scoring final in 2014. By the end, CSK and Mumbai had 2 titles each and were clearly the dominant clubs of the CL-T20 era. For the first few years, Pakistan's domestic champions were not invited. This was largely due to the political tensions and security issues after the 2008 Mumbai attacks. But that changed. In 2012, Sialkot Stallions, the legendary T20 side captained by Shoaib Malik, finally got a slot in the qualifiers in South Africa. They played in the CLT20 qualifying tournament, losing to Auckland but beating Hampshire at the Wanderers, with Haris Sahil starring in that win. Then in 2014, Lahore Lions made it all the way to the main group stage in India, giving Pakistani fans a rare chance to see one of their domestic teams play IPL franchises on neutral turf. So on paper, the Champions League T20 sounds incredible. IPL giants like CSK and Mumbai up against Big Bash teams like New South Wales, Sydney Sixers, South African franchises like Lions and Dolphins, Caribbean sides, New Zealand's domestic winners, Pakistani champions in the later years. It was like a multiverse crossover episode for T20 nerds. So what went wrong? The short answer is the audience never fully bought it. After 6 editions, the boards pulled the plug in 2015, officially citing poor viewing figures and lack of interest. Crowds in many games, especially those without Indian teams, were sparse. TV ratings were patchy. For the kind of money involved, just wasn't delivering. There were other problems as well. The calendar was already crowded. CLT20 usually sat in September to October, jammed between domestic seasons, tours, and the IPL's own footprint. Players were exhausted. Some stars chose rest over another tournament. England's counties eventually withdrew altogether because the English season clashed too much, and their boards weren't keen on rewiring the schedule for a tournament mostly held in India. Then there were the identity issues. The CLT20 never really developed a soul of its own. The IPL had clear branding. It was India's league. The Big Bash was Australia's. The PSL was Pakistan's, and so on and so forth. The Champions League was a kind of international mashup that many casual fans struggle to emotionally invest in. They already had their franchise loyalties. Asking them to care about, say, a New Zealand domestic champion against a South African franchise on a weekday night in India was a big ask. There were also complications around players who qualified with more than one team. Imagine a West Indian player who'd played a season in the IPL and also for his home domestic side who had both qualified. Who does he play for? The CLT20 rule said he could choose, but IPL sides often had the first claim or financial leverage. That caused confusion and occasionally resentment. And it reinforced the feeling that non-IPL teams were second-class guests at someone else's party. By 2014, it was obvious the momentum wasn't growing. Then in July 2015, the boards announced that the 2015 edition was cancelled, and the tournament itself discontinued. Reports at the time spoke of dwindling crowds, weak ratings, sponsorship stagnation, and a sense of the effort required to keep the CLT20 just wasn't worth the return. But that's not where the story ends, because the idea of a global club tournament still refuses to die. In recent years, there have been renewed discussions about reviving a Champions League style event, possibly under ICC guidance, with a smarter schedule and a clearer role in the calendar. Some reports have suggested a rebooted version under a new name could appear this decade, maybe hosted in a neutral venue like England with fewer teams and a tighter format. The basic logic is still attractive. Let the champions of the IPL, PSL, Big Bash, SA20, CPL, and others settle for bragging rights on the field. Let's see what happens. But in the meantime, what's the legacy of the Champions League T20? First, it showed that global franchise crossover is possible and fun, but it needs the right timing, marketing, and structure.
All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks for staying with me. I hope you're enjoying that. If you're enjoying that, you can watch that video later on my YouTube channel. There's loads of cool cricket history ones. There's the Champions League. There's a video about the ICL, the Indian Cricket League, as well, that preceded the IPL. There's loads of fun cricket history content. I find it fun anyway. Right, here we go. Australia's openers are out in the middle, ready for resumption. Reminder, England bowled out inside 33 overs of the first day's play. 172 is what they were bowled out for. Pretty appalling, I'm going to say. If you're still with me, leave us a comment in the comments and let us know what you think of this England batting display and what you expect to see Australia do. Their openers are ready to go. Jofra Archer's got the ball in his hand. Weatherald is on strike. Jofra Archer sprinting in for the first ball of this innings. 3 slips in place for him and an excellent length straight away. Just leaves Weatherald outside the off stump, goes through to the keeper, no run. This will be a bit of a challenge for Jake Weatherald. And it's not the easiest batting conditions. I mean, England batted very poorly, but Jake Weatherald on Test debut, let's not forget, one of 2 debutantes in this Australian side, Brendan Doggett. He's had a good debut, 2 wickets on debut. Jake Weatherald will be hoping to get some runs on debut in Perth. Jofra Archer is fired up. What can he produce for England? Fuller this time. Oh, Weatherald is off his feet. He's on the floor. Big appeal for LBW from Archer. All the England players join in. Umpire says no. I think it was going down leg. My instinct is that it was going down leg. That's what I thought anyway. DRS time is 7-6. Oh, Ben Stokes has reviewed. Stokes has reviewed. Ben Stokes wants to have another look at that one. Weatherald. Well, he literally was taken off his feet by that delivery. It was full. It was fast from Archer. Weatherald didn't know too much about it, but I think it hit him outside the line of leg stump. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I got that wrong. TV umpire Sharfadullah Saikat will tell us. Was that out? Is this a good review from Ben Stokes? Let's take a look at this. Oh, you know what? I think it's pitching in line. I think it's going to hit leg stump. I think it's pitching in line, and I think it's going to hit leg stump. I think this is an excellent review. Well, hold on. Waiting. Here we go. It's pitching in line. It's hit him in line, and it's hitting leg stump. In fact, it's hitting middle and leg stump. Excellent review, and England have a wicket. Was the same score that Australia had at the beginning. 0-1. What a start from England. What a start from Jofra Archer. Jake Weatherald gets a duck on debut. And he has to walk off Fiery stuff from England, fiery stuff from Jofra Archer. Hey, listen, remember last year when India were bowled out for 150 in the first innings and still went on to win that test match against Australia? I'm just saying, it's not over yet. What a delivery. What a delivery from Jofra Archer. The perfect start for England with the ball after what's been a very imperfect day so far. And now Steve Smith is in. Third ball of the innings. Well, well, well. Jofra Archer producing the goods. Everybody joined in with the appeal as well. That's fire from Jofra Archer. This is why there's so much hype around this guy. Now, Steve Smith, acting Australian captain. Australia 0 for 1, or 1 for 0 if you're Australian. Man, this is fascinating. I'm telling you right now, this test match will not go 5 days. Bold statement. I don't even think it's going to go 4 days. I think we're looking at a 3-day test match here. I think we're looking at a 3-day test match. Let's see. Archer into Smith. That's horrible. That is a wild delivery. That was awful from Jofra Archer. It was so far down the leg side. Jamie Smith was tumbling and diving towards the leg side to stop that one. He did stop it. It's not been signalled a wide. I mean, it was so wide, you wouldn't really begrudge the umpire signalling that wide. But he didn't. So, well, 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 well. My goodness. What a match we have on our hands. Jofra Archer into Steve Smith. Beats the outside edge. Oh, that was a lovely delivery. Hit a gorgeous length. Steve Smith beaten all ends up as the ball goes through to the keeper. Ben Stokes gives a little high five, or low five even, to Jofra Archer. Oh, the ball's just zagging about in the air. Moving in the air. This is stunning from Jofra Archer. This is quality. Australia started with a wicket maiden. Can England do the same thing? Well, is this test match going to go 4 days? I don't know. This is some quality fast bowling from Jofra Archer. His first ball was 138.9 kilometers per hour, but the rest have got quicker and quicker. And he comes, nearly gets an under edge on it, does Steve Smith, but he was just wafting. He's just wafting outside the off stump. Not very convincing from the Australian captain. What a start. A wicket maiden for Jofra Archer. The England fans are on their feet applauding him. An incredible start this for England, and exactly what they need. They need more. They need more. Jake Weatherald, the debutant, dismissed for a duck by Jofra Archer. It was full. It was fast. Struck him on his low on his front pad, and his balance was all over the place. He tumbled, fell to the ground. Umpire said not out. England reviewed. TV umpire confirmed the ball was hitting middle and leg. And, it was a double fist pump celebration from Jofra Archer. Now Gus Atkinson is gonna open the bowling alongside Archer. Ooh, wouldn't you be tempted to go for Mark Wood here? Wouldn't you be tempted to have Mark Wood open the bowling alongside Jofra? I don't know. They've gone with Gus. Maybe it's a good call. Let's find out. Here's Gus Atkinson in, left alone outside the off stump by Marnus Lambershane. Marnus Lambershane. I feel like he's going to be leaving quite a few outside the off stump, or at least he'll try to. Gus Atkinson got a 12th on his debut against the West Indies at Lord's last summer. 12 wickets in the match on debut. Well, this is quite something. It's a cracking test match we're watching right now. Australia still yet to get off the mark. Another good delivery from Atkinson, left alone by Marnus Lambashane. He's the kind of player who's very happy to leave a few. Oof. The carry from Gus Atkinson. It's the kind of pitch, Perth, where fast bowlers really enjoy, just hitting the length, because you get so much value for hitting a length there. Right? 8 balls in, Australia still haven't got off the mark. Make that 9 balls. Another good length delivery outside the off stump. Atkinson just teasing the outside edge of Marnus Lambashane's bat. Marnus not going anywhere at the moment. Just trapped on his crease there a little bit. Bit fuller from Atkinson. Wobble seam. Just held its line. Just a straight ball really. Didn't swing too much. Lots of noise from England as well. Joe Root went for a duck earlier. It's very un-Root-like, isn't it? Atkinson, 3 slips in place, and he comes. That's left alone outside the off stump by Lambashane. So 10 balls into this Australian innings, and still no run scored. Bit of pressure being exerted by England here. Wow. I don't know. Maybe is it a good first inning score? Was 172 a good first inning score? I don't know. Who can say? Oh, we'll know later. I'll tell you what, scoring ain't easy. Here's Atkinson in again. Again beats the outside edge. A gorgeous delivery, just in and out. Lambashane didn't get anywhere near it. Wow, England have their tails up. Could be about to bowl a second maiden in a row. Yeah, just angled in and hit the surface and moved away from the right-hander. Really lovely bowling this from Gus Atkinson. Well, Mitch Stark took a 7 for about 20 minutes ago. Atkinson in, and this time defended with the bat by Lambashane into the offside. There is no run, but it is a maiden. 2 maidens on the bounce for England, and their fans are on their feet applauding this start. Australia 0 for 1 after 2 overs. First, a wicket maiden for Jofra Archer. Mitch Stark did bowl a wicket maiden earlier in the day as well, and Gus Atkinson follows it up with a very tight over, really teasing Marnus Lambashane with every delivery, teasing that outside edge. Australia haven't got close to getting a run thus far. Oh, I can't wait for this next Jofra Archer over. I can't wait for this Jofra Archer over. This is box office stuff. This is the kind of stuff that's made him a star, that makes people excited to see him bowl. Archer in. It's a wild delivery down the leg side. Just as I have to build him up, just as I hype up the guy, he bowls this awful delivery down the leg side. There's some QR code on the screen. I don't know what they're trying to flog at the Ashes. If you're with me, drop us a comment. What do you make of this Jofra Archer spell? This is amazing. Yuvraj says, Stark is crazy. Yeah, man, that's amazing. 7 wickets for Stark. Outstanding. But maybe England will respond in kind. Who knows? Who knows? Well. Archer into Smith. Oof. Again, good length outside the off stump. Smith made a very late decision to leave it. And really good pace on that as well from Archer. 144 kilometers per hour. I think that's the fastest ball of the day so far. I'm pretty sure. Now, interesting statistics just been brought up. Jofra Archer has never got Steve Smith out in Test cricket so far. Jofra Archer has never got Steve Smith out in Test cricket so far. Man, this is outstanding Test cricket. Archer into Smith. Outside the off stump. And Smith had a wild swing at that one. Tried to play it through the covers and nearly got an outside edge through to the keeper. Oh my goodness. Living dangerously is Steve Smith. Just taking a look at it. It was a little bit wider outside the off stump, but his feet went absolutely nowhere, Steve Smith. And he just had a sort of swing at that. And Nearly gave it an edge. And he practiced a different kind of shot after that. Australia still yet to get off the mark. 15 balls into this innings. And still yet to get off the mark. 16 balls into this innings. It's down the leg side from Archer. Not a threatening delivery, but good pace still. 144 kilometers per hour. They're really dotting up these Australian batters. Marnus Labuschagne has faced 6 balls yet to get off the mark. Steve Smith has faced 8 balls yet to get off the mark. And can't buy a run at the moment, Australia. And Jofra Archer is bowling beautifully. Even the ones he sprayed down the leg side will let him off for that. Here's Archer in again. Oh, back outside the off stump this time. Left alone by Smith. Through to the keeper, no run. Yeah, so Smith has scored 94 runs against Jofra Archer in Test cricket, and Archer has never got him out yet. Are we going to see a third maiden in a row from England? I know it doesn't, sort of run rates don't really matter that much, but, when the opposition is bogged down, maidens help. They create, pressure. They create the opportunity for false shots. Is Archer into Smith? Oh, just strikes him on the pad, but outside the line of off stump as the ball dribbles to the slips. There is no run. So that's another maiden. 3 maidens in a row for England. Jofra Archer with his big gold chain dangling from around his neck. He's taken the 1 wicket to fall so far. Jake Weatherald on Test debut dismissed for a duck LBW by Jofra Archer. And nobody else has scored so far. 3 overs bowled in this innings. Australia 0 for 1. England, didn't score a huge amount of runs themselves. 172 to defend they have. And I'm going to say so far they've started beautifully with the ball. Jofra Archer, outstanding. Can Gus Atkinson keep this going? He's bowled a maiden as well. He's got 3 slips and a gully in place. And a sort of a deep set short leg. Sort of a slightly deep set short leg. Can this dot ball barrage continue? Atkinson in. Oh, thick inside edge on the bounce to short leg. Now, if short leg was a little bit closer, if Ollie Pope was a little bit closer, that would have been a catching chance. A tough catching chance, but a catching chance. I don't know. It went on the bounce to him anyway, and he held it quite well, actually. Okay, it was off the pad. It's fine. Did it take a little bit of bat on its way through? I don't know. It's a dot ball. 19 balls of this Australian innings have passed, and they haven't scored a run yet. The umpire at square leg just looked at his watch. I'm sure it's not related, but still funny. Atkinson in, left alone outside the off stump by Labuschagne. No run. So 3.2 overs. Australia 0 for 1. Under pressure. If you're with me in the comments, if you're watching, let us know. What do you make of this display of bowling from England? Is 172 actually a good score? Have we been too harsh on England? Or was their stroke play really poor? And Australia, are they just trying to weather this storm while the ball is swinging? Surely they'll come back. Atkinson into Labuschagne, who leaves the ball again outside the off stump. Happy to just leave everything at the moment. Australia still 172 runs behind England. Thank you to everybody who's been watching the live stream, by the way. Appreciate it. If you get a chance to subscribe to my channel and give a watch some of the other cricket content I've been posting. Lots of YouTube shorts, lots of shorts. You'll find at least a couple you like, probably. But yeah, do give us a subscribe. As Atkinson in and beats the outside edge again. Labuschagne, actually, I'm going to give Labuschagne credit. Actually, he pulled his bat inside the line of that one. It is another dot ball. Now, I think this is the Australian strategy, is to just survive. They're not worried about runs right now. They know batting will get easier as time goes on when the ball gets a little bit softer, but right now the ball is swinging, it's seaming, it's doing all sorts, and it's just about survival rather than run scoring. It's a slightly different approach to the one England took. Atkinson into Lambashane, who defends the ball from his crease into the covers. There is no run. I don't remember the last time England faced 4 maidens in a row in Test cricket. It will have been before Brendan McCullum's era, I can tell you that much. Let's see if England can do this, if Gus Atkinson can bowl consecutive maidens, if this will be a 4th maiden on the bounce from England. Really, really impressive stuff. Really impressive. Atkinson into Lambashane. Outside off stump, but he has a little flirt with that one, does Lambashane. Doesn't get any bat on it as it goes through to the keeper. Well, again, keeping England interested, keeping those slips and keeper interested. 4 overs have been bowled now in this Australian innings, and they still haven't scored a run. 0 for 1 after 4 overs. Jofra Archer will be back in a minute for his 3rd over. And England will desperately be hoping that he can provide them with another wicket. I'm just curious to see if I can work out when was the last time England faced 4 maidens in a row. I know most teams do face 4 maidens in a row, but in Test cricket, like, it's not crazy uncommon, but I just don't remember seeing this England team do that. Maybe that's just me. Here's Archer. Oh, it's a short ball. Steve Smith ducks underneath it. 149.3 kilometers per hour. Serious pace from Jofra Archer. That's what, 94 miles per hour. Oof. A straight bouncer, causing all sorts of problems. There we go. Archer causing all sorts of problems at the moment for Australia. It's full and guided to backward point. There is no run. 0 for 1, still Australia. Nothing's happening. 4 overs and a bit in. What is it? 4.2 overs in. Australia haven't scored. And this time the ball's defended back to the bowler, no run. So that's 4.3 overs. Australia yet to score. But again, you know, it probably won't bother them that much. Maybe there's a little bit of pressure that builds for sure. But there is, isn't it? Like, the idea of, like, well, I've got to get off the mark, and you try and play a rash shot or something like that. And surely there's an urge that builds inside you to play a shot, find something. You're more likely to make a mistake. Here's Archer into Steve Smith, who plays this ball into the offside, and they're going to get their first run finally. Finally. It only took 28 balls for Australia to get off the mark. Wow. 28 balls in Australia finally get off the mark. 1 for 1 after 4.4 overs. Right. Archer is going to have a crack at Marnus Lambashane now. Marnus Lambashane isn't off the mark yet. He's on 0 off 12. As that ball strikes him off a thick inside edge, though. No, it's a bit high. Sorry, it's a bit high. So that's a dot ball, just 1 run. Oh, sorry, 1 more ball to come in this over. 1 for 1 after 4.5. this is the thing. Eventually, they'll start scoring. Eventually, scoring will become easier for Australia. Like, it's not going to be this difficult all the way through, and they know that. They just have to see off this period. Archer into Marnus Lambashane, who punches the ball past the bowler. That's going to go for 4. Just met the ball with the bat, and the pace of Jofra Archer will do the rest. Down the ground, down to long on. And that is 4 runs for Marnus Lambashane. He's off the mark with a boundary. 4 off 14 for him. Australia 5 for 1 after 5 overs. And I think some Australian fans will breathe a little bit easier. And they won't be too worried about it either. I think they know that batting will get easier with time on this surface. That was a really nice shot from Marnus Lambashane. Actually, just met the ball with the bat, punched it down the ground for 4. Really good stuff. Really slick from Marnus. 5 for 1. Now, Gus Atkinson is in for another over. He's bowled 2 overs without conceding a run so far. Yet to take a wicket, though. There's Atkinson into Smith. 3 slips still in place. Left alone outside the off stump by Smith. Marnus Lambashane style leave from Smith. I feel like they both leave the ball quite flamboyantly, actually. Just ruined a whole generation of club cricketers with their no run. Every local club I've been to in England, all the kids now leave the ball like that. No run. I mean, it's a legacy of sorts, I guess. I don't know. Okay, Atkinson into Smith, who shuffles across his crease and plays the ball to backward point. There is no run. It's annoying. Once you start doing it, it's hard to stop. If you're still with me, drop us a comment. Let us know if you're enjoying the stream, what you think of the game, and whether you can see Australia finding their way out of this hole. England fans are on their feet trying to will something to happen for their team. Australia 5 for 1, halfway through the 6th over of the innings. As we get towards the back end of this second session, again, Steve Smith just pushes that ball into the offside. No run taken. Fascinating test match, this. Optus Stadium. Very cool venue. Very cool place to watch cricket. Beautiful looking stadium. Really well designed. And very well populated as well. Fans all over the stadium. Lots and lots of England fans. There's Atkinson in. As that ball squares up Smith and strikes him on the arm. Oh, he throws his bat down. That one hurt. Oh, Steve Smith is wringing his right arm. That one just took off the surface. Oh, I think he's bleeding a little bit actually on his elbow. Let's take another look at it. Steve Smith watching it. As that ball just rises a little bit. Oh, yeah, just takes the elbow, just grazes the elbow. And immediate grimace from him. That one had to hurt. Ouch. Gus Atkinson just getting the ball to rise. Steve Smith sort of grits his teeth and smiles, but let's have another look at it. Oh, yeah, just hits him just below the elbow, right on the bone. That's going to hurt. Ugh. Probably bleeding a little bit. He's getting some treatment now from the physio. Oof. And there's going to be a little bit of a break in proceedings here. It wasn't the fastest ball of the over. In fact, it was the slowest, 137.3. But cricket ball hitting you right there on your funny bone, that's going to hurt. Ugh, hurts just to watch it. Oof. It doesn't hit it full pelt either. It just sort of grazes it, which is worse, when it sort of clips it. Oh, right on the bone. Oh, you can tell it's painful. He's still in pain, still getting treatment. flexing his bicep. I'm not sure how much that's going to help, to be honest with you. And Gus Atkinson and Jofra Archer causing all sorts of problems at the moment for Australia. Only wicket to fall, though, for Australia so far is Jake Weatherald on debut, dismissed for a duck by Jofra Archer, second ball of the innings. And since then, Smith and Lambashane have been very watchful. They've been beaten outside their off stump quite a few times, but they've survived. And they're on 5 runs, Australia. 4 of them off the bat of Marnus Lambashane, a terrific straight drive down the ground. Steve Smith has 1 off 18 so far. It's like anything else. The longer they survive, the better Australia's chances of accumulating a lead. And that's what Australia will want here. They'll want to build a really big lead, maybe 100, 150, 200 run lead, and challenge themselves to bowl out England again. And England, well, maybe they'll be thinking about their own lead if they can bowl a special spell. We saw a special spell already today from Mitch Starc, his first spell taking 3 England wickets, and put a big hole in that England batting lineup by dismissing Crawley, Duckett, and Root. Did Mitch Starc. And then had some beautiful deliveries. The one he bowled to Ben Stokes, just gorgeous. Gorgeous delivery. 7 wickets in the end for Mitch Starc, who's been the star of the day so far. Not much to celebrate for England with the bat. Harry Brook did get a half century. Ollie Pope missed out on a half century, and really, that's it. Jamie Smith did okay towards the end. Atkinson in as Smith looks to pull the ball, nearly gets strangled down the leg side, nearly got out in the same way that Harry Brook did. Maybe just a shot of a bit of frustration there from Steve Smith, who stepped across his stumps, having absorbed that blow. You often see that from players actually in cricket when they pick up a little blow on the pitch. The next shot tends to be sort of rush of bloodish. I've done it many times. Not many times, but I've definitely done it. Here's Atkinson. Final ball of the 6th over. Oh, strikes him on the pad. Big appeal for LBW. Big appeal. Umpire Nitin Menon is not interested. I think they got through for a single. There was a shy at the non-striker's end. And Ben Stokes sort of signaling with his hands that it's too high. He says it's too high, so they're not going to review that one, England. Big appeal, though, from Atkinson. They managed to get through for a leg bye at the end of that over. So 6 overs bowled in this innings. And Australia are 6 for 1. Yeah, it does strike him quite high on the back leg. I think that's a fair decision from Ben Stokes to not review that one. And a pretty good decision by Nitin Menon on field. He's already made a few excellent decisions today. And yeah, we're looking at the ball tracking, and the ball's going miles over the stump. So pretty good reading there from all concerned, except for maybe the bowler. Right. Hold the phone, guys. Hold on a second. Change of bowling. Mark Wood has entered the chat. So a 3-over spell for Jofra Archer. And now Mark Wood's going to have a crack with the new ball. Newish ball. 6 overs old. Australia 6 for 1. Marnus Lambashane on 4 off 14. Steve Smith on 1 off 20. And it's Steve Smith who's on strike. Mark Wood, a few injury concerns around him heading into this test match, has the ball in his hands. And now, in he comes to bowl to Steve Smith with 3 slips in place. It's short. Steve Smith works this ball just in front of square leg. Direct hit, and he's gone. Oh, they ran through for a quick single. The direct hit didn't come. If it had, Lambashane was a goner. Wow, just taking a look at that. He had a moment to steady himself, Ollie Pope. Yeah, he would have gone. He would have been gone. But it wasn't a direct hit in the end. Ollie Pope turns in anguish. He knows that was an opportunity. Now, Mark Wood is going to get a crack at Marnus Lambashane. Mark Wood has dismissed Marnus Lambashane 5 times in Test cricket. Wood into Lambashane, who gets firmly behind that one and defends the ball back to the bowler, no run. Quick ball from Mark Wood, 148 kilometers per hour. Starting to ramp up the pace. Honestly, between us, I much prefer miles per hour than kilometers per hour. Maybe because England metric system and all that kind of stuff. Like in our cars, we have miles per hour and stuff, right? So I don't know. Miles makes more sense to me, but like you just got to roll with it. Host broadcaster, whatever they want in Australia, they like kilometers per hour. So we have to do some maths. Here's Wood into Lambashane, who again defends this ball into the onside, no run. 148.8 kilometers per hour, so a lot of pace. Oh, there's Finchy. I can see Finchy out there with the Barmy Army, playing his music for the crowd, entertaining the crowd. Lovely guy, Finchy of the Barmy Army. Always enjoyed chatting to him and hanging out with him. He's really nice. Now then, Australia 7 for 1 after 6.3 overs. Mark Wood is in his first over. 3 slips and a gully still in place. Ben Stokes is laughing and smiling. Here's Wood into Lambashane. Beats the outside edge. Oh, that one carried as well. This is, Jamie Smith behind the stumps took it about shoulder high and just under 150 kilometers per hour from Mark Wood on that occasion. This is going to be tough for the Australian batters facing this barrage of 90 mile an hour plus. First from Jofra Archer, now from Mark Wood. Yeah. Joe Root applauds. Just a little bit short, perhaps, Mark Wood. You want to be a touch fuller, you'd think. Here's Wood into Lambashane. Squares him up a little bit. Thick outside edge trickles to gully. There is no run. I'd like to see him get a touch fuller still. Challenge the drive of Lambashane. 7 for 1, Australia. And again, thank you to everybody who's joined me on this stream. If you get a chance, give us a thumbs up, a subscribe, give us a comment. What do you make of this spell of bowling from England? It's been very impressive. What's your favourite of these England flags? I saw Bradford City, I saw Chelsea. A lot of flags. Wood in. And that ball is on a good length outside the off stump, but left alone by Marnus Lambashane. And that is the end of the over. Just 1 run coming from it. Australia 7 for 1 after 7 overs going at. My maths tells me 1 run and over. Pretty good stuff from England's bowlers so far. Done everything right except get another wicket. And that's what they need right now, wickets, and they need them quickly because eventually that ball will stop moving. It'll get easier to bat. And one gets the feeling the Australian batters aren't going to make as many mistakes as England did or play with the same sort of cavalier attitude, and resulted in a lackluster total. Now Gus Atkinson getting ready to bowl his 4th over. He's yet to concede a run. 3 overs, 3 maidens for Gus Atkinson. And he comes to Steve Smith, still with the 3 slips in place, as Smith defends that ball outside off stump. In fact, just plays it just wide of Ben Duckett at gully, and they get through for a single. Australia on to 8 for 1 now, after 7.1 overs. Still 164 runs behind England. So that feels like a lot of runs right now. Right now, just from where the game is right now, it feels like a lot of runs. It's not going to be a 500-run pitch, this, I don't think. It might be. I mean, I just don't think it's going to be a 500-run game where a team scores 500. I don't know. I could be wrong. Atkinson into Lambashane, who again defends the ball from his crease into the offside. There is no run. Australia don't seem too worried about net run rates. It's like the complete opposite right now. England are going at 4s, 5s. They finished at 5s, but of course they were bowled out for 172. Australia going at just over 1s at the moment. 8 for 1 after 7.2 overs. I think we're about 10 minutes away from the end of the session. Perhaps that'll be playing in the minds of the Australian batters as well. Atkinson into Lambashane, who defends the ball from his crease into the offside. There is no run. 8 for 1 after 7.3 overs. And Gus Atkinson, very, very steady. Yeah, burst onto the scene for England last summer. He took a 12th against the West Indies, scored a century against Sri Lanka, What a summer. What a summer for Gus Atkinson. And he comes down to Lambashane, who plays the ball off a thick inside edge, just past short leg. They thought about a single, but mid wicket got to the ball quickly. So another dot ball. 8-1 Australia. It's definitely been a very entertaining day's cricket. I'm sure it's been maddening for England cricket fans, maybe for Australian cricket fans at times as well, but it's been fascinating to watch. Just high quality from some players at times. Mitch Stark, high quality. Brooke, at times, high quality. And now England's bowlers, very high quality. Atkinson in, as that ball strikes Lambashane on the pad, but quite high up. So just a stifled appeal there from Atkinson. He's found some excellent areas here. And we talked about Mark Wood maybe needing to bowl a little bit fuller. Perhaps Atkinson needs to bowl a little bit shorter, perhaps. Oh, struck him really high up on the thigh. Minus Lambashane. Australia 8-1. Here's Atkinson in again. That ball's been played late, just wide of Gully again. They'll run through for a single. So Lambashane will keep the strike. 2 runs coming from that Gus Atkinson over. He's got figures of 0 for 2 from his 4 overs so far. And Australia just moving along ever so gently. And they're showing you a replay of Mark Wood, so I can't tell you the exact score. It is 9-1 after 8 overs. 9-1. Well. Mark Wood's going to come back in for a second over, of course. It's a surprise for nobody. Man, it looks like a gorgeous cricket stadium. I'd love to go visit it someday. Here's Mark Wood into Marnus Lambashane. Thick inside edge down towards fine leg. There is a fielder in place. It's Gus Atkinson. And they'll go through for a single. Score moves on to 10-1. And this is the thing we speculated. Obviously, there's excellent bowlers and excellent bowling from England. But as that ball gets a little bit older, some of the shine comes off. It will get a little bit easier to bat with the ball swinging and seeming less. These are 2 quality batters as well, as Wood is into Smith, who defends the ball off the back foot into the offside. There is no run. Yeah, it's been very impressive display from Mark Wood thus far, but he's got everything other than the wicket. If you have a chance, I recommend reading his autobiography, The Wood Life. And, it's been co-written by Vithushan Hantarajan, very, very talented writer with ESPN Cricinfo. And The Wood Life, it's very good. I recommend it. Here's Mark Wood into Steve Smith, who works this ball down towards fine leg for a single. And now they're starting to find a little bit of strike rotation. Well, 11-1 the score now for Australia. So if you're a superstitious type, start hopping. Nelson. If you're unfamiliar with Nelson, Google it. Or you know what? Wait, next week I'm releasing a video on my TikTok about Nelson and why there are so many superstitions about 1-1-1. Wood in. Left alone outside the off stump by Lambashane. As it goes through to the keeper. That's quick. 151.5 kilometers per hour. He's been above 150 every single ball this over as Mark Wood, bowling some serious pace. They've got all this random analysis now. They tell you the speed of the run-up, the arm speed, and the release, and the wrist snap as well. So the four different points of, I don't know, Seems unnecessary, to be honest. Here's Wood in. Slightly fuller, defended into the offside by Lambashane. There is no run. I reckon we'll get another couple of overs in today, before tea. Yeah, I won't do a live stream after tea. I'm just going to watch the match. But during the course of this series, I'm going to keep doing live streams at random times during the series. So if you want, please do join me. And, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It's very much appreciated. Particularly sharing is very appreciated. As Wood is in, that ball takes a leading edge to point. There is no run. Yeah, keen to just build a little community over here. People chat to each other in the comments, and I'll just let you know what's going on. That last ball should have been the last ball of the over, but it's a no ball. Mark Wood overstepping now. Maybe we won't get 2 overs in. Maybe we'll just get 1 more in. Let's see. Yeah, just having a look at that. Yeah, definitely overstepping from Mark Wood. Marginal, but definitely overstepping. A little bit untidy. So 1 more ball to come in the 9th over. Mark Wood, he's already huffing a bit, but he puts a lot into every delivery. Doesn't Mark Wood? Excuse me, yawning a little bit. It is 7 o'clock in the morning in the UK, so as Wood is in, that ball's guided off the back foot to gully. There is no run. And that is the end of the 9th over. Australia, 12 for 1. And I believe we'll get 1 more over in before tea. Now, I wonder who Ben Stokes is going to throw the ball to. Just taking a little look at that dismissal. Just the 1 wicket to fall for Australia so far. That was Jake Weatherall, the debutant. Vicious delivery from Jofra Archer. Full, fast. Took Weatherall off his feet. That's not a fun debut for him. Brendan Doggett, his teammate, who also made a debut today. He had a good match. 2 wickets on debut. That's not bad, is it? I mean, the headlines are going to go to Mitchell Starc, obviously, for taking 7 wickets. But on debut, you take 2 wickets, reasonable, average in economy, no complaints. Bryden Carse into the attack now for England. That ball is just fended off the back foot by Smith towards point. There is no run. Just very unconvincing there from Steve Smith, if I'm honest. Australia still trailing by 160 runs. And it feels like a lot right now. Bryden Carse given this responsibility to bowl this over by Ben Stokes, which I'm pretty sure will be the last over before tea. As Carse is in again. This is full. Driven beautifully. That's the most convincing shot of the day so far from Australia. No, that's not true. Lambashane played that straight drive, didn't he? Anyway, this one doesn't even get to the boundary. They'll pick up 2 runs, I think. Just 2 runs driven out to deep extra cover. 3 runs, I beg your pardon. Driven out to deep extra cover by Smith. Just over pitching ever so slightly Bryden Carse. Got to be careful here, England. They've made runs come at a premium. They don't want to let that precedent slide. Want to keep life difficult for the Australians. And they picked up 3 on that occasion. 15 for 1 after 9.2. Here's Carse into Lambashane, who's beaten. Again, teasing the outside edge Carse. That ball goes through to the keeper. And just like everyone that's preceded him, just like Archer, just like Atkinson, just like Wood, Carse also getting excellent lift and carry off this Perth surface. And thus far, you sort of understand why England have gone with a full pace barrage looking at this wicket. We see a couple of overs of Nathan Lyon from Australia, but it was Starc who was the chief destroyer. There's Bryden Carse into Lambashane again. Defends from his crease into the offside, looking for a quick single. Smith says no and sends him back. No run. Australia remain 15 for 1. Fascinating session of play, this. I think England, after that first wicket, desperately wanted a second one. Particularly this experienced pair. If they could get one of these guys before tea, then that tea would taste a lot better. Cast into Lambashane, full and driven to mid-off. There is no run. And they just want to see these last ball off. Does Lambashane go into tea, and Australia will still feel pretty good about their situation in this match. Even though they lost Jake Weatherald, they've managed to bowl England out very, very cheaply and very early in the game. So they have all the time in the world. They could take their time. They could play at 1-2 runs and over and still get to a decent total. Cass into Lambashane, who leaves a wide one alone outside the off stump. There is no run. And I believe that's going to be tea. Yes, it is. It is going to be tea. And there we go. So that is the end of the second session of the first day's play in the first test match of the 2025 Ashes series. And Australia have weathered a bit of a storm there. That was a really good spell of bowling from England, but they've only managed to get one wicket to show for it. Australia 15 for 1, having bowled out England for 172. So Australia trail by 157 runs. The star of the day, Mitch Starc, with a terrific, terrific bowling performance, taking 7 wickets for 58 runs from his 12.5 overs. A notable debut for Brendan Doggett as well, 2 for 27 from his 7 overs. And England not much to show for their batting. Ben Stokes getting, I beg your pardon, Harry Brook getting 52, Ollie Pope getting 46, and the tail being blown away relatively comfortably. The last 4 batters scoring 7 runs between them. And Australia, well, they lost Jake Weatherald very early. A beautiful delivery from Jofra Archer to dismiss him LBW upon DRS review. But since then, Marnus Lambashane and Steve Smith have sort of held the fort and given Australia a reasonable position on which to build from. 15 for 1. I wouldn't say it's game over just yet. I wouldn't say that England are completely out of it. I wouldn't even say that this result is a foregone conclusion. But what I would say is that England have a sniff. They're still there. And it's very early days in this series. Yes, England will definitely reflect on a lot of mistakes that they've made already. But there's still a lot of cricket left to be played in this test match. So thanks for watching this, whether you watched it live, whether you watched it recorded. I appreciate the support for my channel. And if you could continue to do so, I'd really appreciate it. Just leave us some likes, leave us some comments, and leave us, make sure you subscribe and keep joining me for future watch-alongs. I'll make sure to do many, many more. Until then, enjoy the third session, everybody. And I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye.